interests you to know that science is another name of God. And every generation has had to ask the question, does God really exist? If you are here to understand every form of explanation that has been given to you so far, wait until I'm able to explain to you in detail the very scientific nature of God. And this explanation will put a permanent end to the question as to whether God really exists. And today I'm going to be using a technological device to explain to you the reality of God and His existence. This technology I'm describing is your mobile phone. Yes, your mobile phone. Now, for every mobile phone to be effectively active, it has three components. And these three components cannot work outside one another. In other words, once one component is missing, then the effectiveness or the value of your mobile phone is decreasing. Yes, your mobile phone. It has three components. Number one, there is the phone itself. And number two, there is the SIM card. And number three, there is the data or airtime. In very like manner, in the structure of man, who is made in the image of God, you have the body, which represents the phone. You equally have the mind or the soul, which represents the SIM card. And last but not the least, you also have the data or the airtime, which is life. Now, these three components must coexist to have effective value of a mobile phone. Without this effectiveness, or without these three coming together, the effectiveness of your mobile phone becomes questionable. Then, having represented this, let's take simple illustration. No matter how beautiful your phone is, without the SIM card, without the airtime or data, the value is diminished. No matter how costly your phone is, without SIM card, without data or airtime, it's not worth more than a calculator or a toy game. The same thing with the body of man. Without your soul or mind and your spirit, that body is only an image of mud. Then we move to the second component, which is the SIM card. Without the SIM card, like I said, the value of your phone is diminished. In the same way, without the mind in a man, then you are in a very dangerous status. And it can only be compared to a madman on the street. The madman in the street is a man in a very dangerous situation to the public. Now, if you kill him, the law charges you for murder or manslaughter. If the same madman kills you, the law defends him as a man without his mind. You can see how dangerous it is to the society. The same way, if you are running your life without your mind, you can only be likened to a madman. Then the third component, the data or the airtime. You can imagine how effective you can be when you have data and airtime. In the world of communication today, airtime and data is life. You can touch the whole world while you are sitting in one position. That's the power of airtime and data. In just the same way, your spirit. So a man devoid of sound mind is very dangerous to the society. The fact remains that it cannot relate between the physical world and the spiritual world. And that is very dangerous to a complete human being. In the same way, a phone with SIM card, without data or airtime, has gross limitation to what it can achieve in the world of communication. Just the same way a man that is not spiritual has so much less he can achieve on earth without spirituality. Because until you settle certain things spiritually, you will never progress. For instance, imagine a man that is holding a phone that is more than 500,000 naira worth, and you run to him in emergency, asking him for 30 seconds call to save a life. And he tells you, I don't have airtime. No matter the cost of his phone, for that moment it is useless, it is disappointing. The same way, if you are a human being, you have your soul and your mind, but you're devoid or you are void spiritually, there is limitation to what you can achieve in the world, to attainment in the world. Because if you will rise to be anything, it must be settled spiritually first. Now, having said this, if you call yourself human being and you still doubt the reality of Trinity, then you need to be examined, because you can only be likened to a man in insanity. When you realize this, then you are ready to go far. Having said this, the only evidence of original is fake. Anywhere you see fake, you are sure original is somewhere. What I am saying in essence, that if your mobile phone describes to you the tripartite nature of man, who is said to be made in the image of God, then it will be insanity if you don't believe in Trinity, because you yourself, you are a tripartite person, you are a three-in-one person, and those three components must work together to give your life a meaning. You believe in Trinity, you believe in God, having Spirit, having the Word, and having the Son. You believe in yourself, having the body, having the Spirit, having the soul. If you don't believe these two, look at your phone, your mobile phone. It will explain to you details of what I am talking about. This is the voice of his oracle, the voice that must be heard, the voice that must be adhered to, the voice that is putting the judgment of God upon an erring generation, championing a revolutionary move, channeling the course of life towards a better end, and teaching men to fulfill their destinies in life via the word of faith and holiness. This is Saint George Israel Adegboyega, aka the Pioneer. Remember, on 4 dimensions, we show you the 4 dimensions of life, which includes the God dimension, and this is the dimension that talks about spirituality, that talks about deity, and that talks about religion. The second dimension